All right, we should be live. Should be live. Dougie, what's up, man? Yeah. All right. So I know my mic is working today. That's good. I think I had one video where it was like 5 minutes of me talking to nobody. Like a pro. All right. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. And wow, we haven't been streaming. Well, I haven't been streaming since last. It's been more than a week and a few days. So for those Americans here, we had our holiday. Good old 4th of July boom boom going on. Yeah, dude. So I think the heat wave just left up here where I'm in Northern California. And it was 106 on, I'm going to say like Saturday or Friday. I think Friday and Saturday was like 106, 210. No, I just had to push it back because I had family in town. So they were here for like almost all last week. Yeah. Yeah, weird how the heat wave just kind of like it's like a system just moving down. Actually, there is no such thing as global warming, but there is such thing as climate change. Because a lot of the areas of the planet are actually cooling too, which is really weird. Global warming just sounds more scary, but it's okay. All right. Need to watch more documentaries. That'll help. Yeah. Or take a trip to Alaska and go see the glaciers that don't even exist anymore. Only like half of them are there now. And they've been there for like a million years. All right, so uh, welcome everyone back to the normally Friday stream, but we're here on a good old Monday. We're gonna be, I haven't worked on this girl for a while, so we're just gonna kind of continue to chug away at sculpting all the wood patterns. Just have some fun. Yeah, it sure is warm, man. I think it's pretty warm today too. It is a mere 90 degrees outside. It's not even 100. So that's a good start. Hey, Spruce Root. Thanks, man. She's been our 3 or 4 week project. Taking our time on it. Lots of little fun details to add. Yeah. I do a little turntable for you guys, sure. So we have a ways to go to fill in all the lumpy wood areas, you know, kind of dial it in. Nothing too crazy. You don't have to be like very what do you call it? Like specific, I guess, with the strokes. At least with the piece that I'm doing. Just kind of free forming it. Adding interest. I'm doing great. Yeah, we'll be, you know, I only been doing 2 hours a day for the duration of like my stream on the Twitch channel, so try to get through as much as I can. Yet I work slower while I'm streaming. There's a little bit of a sculpting lag, just a little bit. Yes, the wood grain is gonna translate a lot actually. Yeah. And, you know, it really depends on the scale that we print. But I'd like to print it quite large, at least 12 inches or something like that. Oh, my Twitch channel is in the underneath the stream here. It's Polysculpture is my own Twitch. Streaming mix streams. I haven't been too active, and I apologize for those who actually did take the time to follow me over there, but I will get back to streaming on my own stream once I get done with some things around the house here, so it's all in the plan. Yeah, that's a good question. So the things that I keep in mind, there's a lot of them, but the most beautiful thing about printing, at least with the SLA printing, it's like very high resolution, is that you don't really have to consider too much, like as in you don't really have to hold back. And other than making sure you don't like generate a lot of like holes in a model, and by holes, I don't know, it'd be a good. So like intuitively don't do it. So it's actually like hard to reproduce, but awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah, I would say like typically no, there's not a lot that I really consciously think about while sculpting for print. Now converting a production model for 3D printing is a little bit of a different story, typically because they have a lot of objects that are like, you know, single-sided objects are kind of a big one. Or they have objects that are kind of floating in space. So like, I don't know, you take like a character that has like a belt buckle, right? And if you really zoom in on the character's belt buckle, there'll be all these little spaces between like the belt buckle and like the jeans or the pants. And those little holes that are there can sometimes be like problematic for the print. And so those are the types of things that I naturally avoid while modeling. But with organic stuff, you're kind of not usually going to have that issue. You usually have it with clothing, has like its own set of rules, I would say. You know, you have collars that flip upside down and have a cavity of space like under the collar all the way around the neck, which can indeed print without much issue actually, but it's more like it's a place for error. So there's like a lot of little things like that that you kind of think about while either modeling out a full character. But when it comes to something very sculptural like this, there's not, you don't really have to worry about too much. Like you can actually see I even added like things like this where it's like a hole of the roots growing up and over the skin. And that's not going to be an issue either. So, you know, we'll be here for a while. I'll be streaming characters of all sorts for printing. So, you know, over the years or months or whatever, how long we keep this going, we'll have different sets of challenges that we kind of face, which will be will be fun. Actually, this particular piece, no, I don't think there's going to be any keying per se. She's designed in a way that she'll probably be able to be printed out all in one go. That said, until I actually take the model into Preform, which is a 3D print software, I won't make that like final call. But if you actually go back and look at, I have a previous set of videos that I did on the Pixelogic channel when I did Jin Urso, and we did some keying on her, so you can kind of see the thought process between that. I don't really remember which video it was that we did it in, so I think it was one of the later ones, obviously, because it's towards the end of her project. So yeah. So this one's actually mostly sculptural for this series. And then hopefully we'll spend some time outside of ZBrush at the end doing more of the post-processing type stuff. So I think when doing this stuff, you tend to spend a lot of time really close up. You have to be conscious to kind of zoom out and just make sure you're not over detailing. Really like to define the line between where it, like wood kind of turning into skin or like going under the skin. So I saw a pretty cool movie this last weekend. It's on Netflix. It's the Ukja. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. OKJA. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check that out. It's a fun story about a genetically modified pig. But it's really cool. It's really funny actually too, and it's kind of sad. And it's like one of the it's streaming in 4K too, which is pretty sweet. Looks really good. It's one of those movies that kind of make you want to become a vegetarian though. What's up, Seagull? Nice, yeah. Yeah, it's getting there. Tedious. Try not to be too picky when it comes to the wood stuff. Just kind of make it feel like it, you know? Give it that feeling of wood. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that a little bit. You are not prepared. Yeah, wood is fun. I mentioned last stream too, it's really about setting up all your primary shapes. So you're not fighting your, like what you laid down before. So as long as you have good underlying shapes there to work with, a lot of this detail kind of just comes naturally. You don't really have to try too hard, I feel. Just have to kind of make decisions on the fly and go with it, and kind of decide as you go what shapes are gonna overlap what, and kind of add interest into different areas so it doesn't look like it's all the same. Yeah. Trees are cool. The worst part about doing actual trees is all that branching. Oh, the leaves? I just use like fiber mesh is a good way to do leaves. Also, if you have Maya, you can use like XGen and stuff. So you don't have to like worry too much about the leaf placement. What's up, Kyle? Yeah. Yeah, speed tree is cool. Yeah, I've done like a lot of manually placed type of cards too, especially in Maya. But actually, when I was at DreamWorks, we did a lot of our hair was all manually placed. So we had like hair tools, but you would place like these pieces of geometry around, and they would represent like hair clusters, and it worked really well because we had like geometry to represent where hair was, and we would manually place all of those. And we had tools and stuff to help place them. So it wasn't like the worst thing, but it could end up being tedious. Nice. Yeah, I remember the first piece of tree that I sculpted. It was it was like this little diorama piece for this this night elf looking girl, a little Warcraft inspired piece that I did. And she was like on kind of putting her hand on a tree. And then I guess the next tree thing I sculpted after that. Actually, I did a lot of trees on. We did a lot of trees on Avatar. That was like one of the big things I was working on. Is trees and clothing. A lot of that was before we had a lot of like cool tools like Marvelous and stuff. So it was a lot more tedious than it is now. Yeah, I was like a organic modeler, so I kind of jumped around between doing like environments, props, and I did a couple creatures. None of the cool ones, unfortunately. That was still a little early in my career. And there's already a lot of people there that were a lot more senior than I was at the time. But I got to do some cool like creatures that are like more background stuff, and then mostly focused on environment, plants, a lot of plant life. So it did a lot of the kind of the weird world plants that they had there, and oh yeah, yeah, they need So I don't think I saw your whole question. I must have missed it. Do you know the plugin Z-Tree? I wonder if you can make it wrap around an object like this. Z-Tree is a Z-shared base. Oh, I see. I haven't used the Z-Tree yet. I probably never will, really. But I'm fairly certain you can input in like build the primitives out to make the shapes match, and then you could generate your lease off of it. So essentially give it like a guide of where the branching goes. I'm just assuming because I would doubt that you'd be able to use it effectively and for like a hero production shot if you can't specifically adjust the tree shape and provide like a certain branch that just goes like to land in a shot that you need or something like that. So, but I do know they use it a lot for like matte painting work. I think we used it a lot at DreamWorks too. Yeah. But I mean, you don't really need, if you're not going to generate the whole tree from scratch and you already have like a tree sculpted, you could just use XGen to generate procedural leaves on your model that you've already made. You don't need to use SpeedTree for that. Ooh. Nah, I just said what I did. Where you go? So that was like pretty early in my career as a production modeler. I did a lot of the environment art. We're working on a lot of the Pandora like world stuff, like plants, trees, rocks, leaves, like a lot of the foliage and stuff. And then I did some of the kind of the background creatures, and then I did some of the cloth for the avatars, like clothing and weapons too. So kind of all over the place, really. I don't think that was with Ryan, because I don't think I ever did a webinar with Ryan. Might have been a different webinar though. But yeah, man, it was a good time. Loved living in New Zealand for a couple years. It was really cool. Really, really cool. Yeah, I did. Did a lot of wine tasting, a lot of traveling around the North Island, a little bit of the South Island traveling. I didn't do any really cool like hiking or backpacking trips, which I definitely regret not doing more of. So I definitely plan on going back one day. Oh man. Phew, we're almost there. Not really. Did I visit Hobbiton? No, I did not. No, it was not on one of my lists of to-dos, I guess. Not really into like the super touristy stuff to do. And that like is probably one of the most touristy things to do. in well, when it comes to like movie stuff, I guess. But no. But I did visit the Weta workshop, which was really cool. We got a few tours of that. Actually, when I went there, that was when they were just starting to prototype stuff for the Halo movie. So, the Halo movie got canceled, but they still had a lot of the cool stuff that they made for it, like the that Jeep thing. I don't know what it's called. I'm not a Halo person, but they had like the Jeep, like all pimped out in the workshop, and so that was pretty cool. And then they had a lot of the Lord of the Rings, like armor and stuff and swords, all like spread out the shop. Yeah, the Weta workshop is really cool. Just all the physical props that those guys make is amazing. Halfway? Yeah, I would consider this halfway. Like, I mean, once I get to these bigger shapes, I don't have to spend as much time on it. It's just I feel like anytime something's interacting with the face, I think it's worth putting in the time to, you know, really make it feel like it's interacting with the surfaces. So, yeah, just adding like a little bit of cracking and undercuts and stuff. Try to get rid of all these straight lines, you know. Isn't that what they say? There's no straight lines in real life. Something like that. At least it's true with like polygons. Like there are no true hard edges. Everything has a bevel. This piece is not behaving. There it goes. I don't think there's like any real timeline. Like some stuff took me like a week, some stuff took me a couple days. There was one tree that I worked on that I was UV mapping for like 2 weeks straight. So that was fun. So yeah, literally I would come into work, I would UV map for like 10 hours straight of unwrapping, and then I would go home. It was it was a thing. Pain in the game, I guess. So, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, they don't, especially like early on when I was there, they didn't really have like, I mean, they had like a schedule because they knew like, okay, this thing should take this long or that long, but in the beginning, they didn't even know if some assets were still going to be in the final movie, so we were just in like making mode. Like we were making some assets that didn't even have like shots lined up yet. We just knew that we had to build like a gigantic library of plants, and then eventually started getting scenes that had all the plant placement done, and then we knew like, okay, this is going to go there. It was it was cool. It's a cool process. Honestly, the best thing about working there was how much I got to learn. So, did James veto every plant? No, actually, James is kind of a weird guy. He's like, he just gets mad when people don't do what he asks. So like, I don't know how it happens, but like if he's like, I want a red plant, and then he goes to see it and it's supposed to be red and it's like blue for whatever reason, then he like gets all mad. He's like, why isn't this red? So yeah, he's a I don't know. All I heard is like stories about working on his projects, and I never really got to witness anything negative firsthand that I didn't necessarily disagree with. Like if he got upset at something, I could be like, yeah, I could see why he's mad at that. But I think he doesn't have as much of a temper as he used to, apparently. It's going good. It's going good. I think it's going good. Pretty happy so far. I used to have a bonsai, but I killed it, unfortunately. That was when I was living in LA though, and I didn't really have like a proper gardening space, so. But I do have an olive tree, which is what her name is. And on my last project is this wisteria girl, and I do have a wisteria tree, so I'm not a complete poser. Doing details like this is a really good way to make the front of your Wacom tip really flat. Yeah, that's Slack. I use Slack and Discord on. I should probably mute it, but I don't really know how. No way, man. That's Slack in the early 1800s. Part of the song. That's a pretty good troll, actually. Everyone thinks their Slack is going off, but it's just mine. Well, it's just whatever the default sound is, so. So if that's the default one, then yeah. I wouldn't say I use it because it's default. I guess it's more like I haven't changed it. Yeah, it's the Pixelogic, the one we have for all the streamers. We have a Slack channel that we all talk in and discuss stream related things, I guess. Yeah. Sorry I'm not too talkative today, guys. I was up pretty late last night, actually, working on another project, so kind of chill today. Chill and doodle on the woods. All of our secrets. Yeah, I know, right? They're gonna know we talk to each other. Ah. Yeah, it's pretty chill. Normally, I spend more time talking about what I'm doing a little bit more actively, I guess. But I've only had 2 cups of coffee this morning, so I'm a bit behind in that regard. So. But I do have a new coffee cup. Well, it's not new, it's old. But I have my Occupy Mars coffee cup full of delicious coffee today. And this one is cool because it has Mars on it, as you could see. And when you put hot coffee in there, it changes to a different color. And then as the coffee level goes down, there's like a line across the planet. But my coffee is cold. Not cold, but it's room temperature, I guess. So it doesn't look all cool. Yeah, I agree. It's pretty... it's pretty disgraceful, I would say, to all 3D artists to have so few cups of coffee. And it's like 1:20, you know. I really should be on like my 4th, but I really am slacking off today. But I do the tea as well. I know Ashley does the tea. I have an awesome teacup. I think you might like it. I'll show you. Gotta roll all the way over. This is the tea that I had last night. Well, the teacup at least. It's my Alice in Wonderland cup set. So there's Alice with a bunch of animals. And then there's like the saucer. So it's very manly. Very, very manly stuff. So I do it right. You know, tea has actually quite a bit of caffeine. Especially black teas have a lot. Green tea can have quite a bit too. Yes, I am. That's cool. I like that detail. Thanks, man. It's I haven't done anything like this in a few years, so I really wanted to try something new. Not new, but just different than, I don't know, stuff I've been doing normally, I guess. Gets kind of tiring on your hand though, using a lot of the flatten H polish. Maybe I'm just pressing too hard. Get like hand fatigue. I end up pressing really hard, I think. Harder than I need to. I don't know, maybe my brain thinks I'm like really pushing into the surface. So I like push down really hard on the Wacom pen. Wacom pen. So I'll just show you guys one little thing I just did. I recognized, you know, a lot of times you have two intersecting shapes, like right here in the middle, and a lot of times to make it feel less like CG, I'll take like a very sharp brush like the orb crack, and instead of going like with the surface like this direction, I'll go like across it, and it makes it feel like you see how it adds like random like movement. So instead of like having the line going super straight, and you still want there to be like kind of a nice line, but you really want to break up the line so it has like a little bit of waviness, so it doesn't look super like perfect, I guess. So I go like across the surface, kind of back and forth, where the two shapes are intersecting. And I do that a lot. Like this is a good example. Like instead of carving with the surface down, I'll go across it, and it kind of pulls either direction, and it adds like a little bit of a variance and a subtlety to that area. And then often I'll take the trim dynamic and like go into the area and like flatten out some of these areas that intersect. So like they're not always just like a super pointy area, but there's sometimes like a flat plane down in there. So you get areas of like sharp, and then you get areas that are flat. And then from a distance, it still reads as a line, but like when you go closer, it feels like there's a lot more happening like between those two surfaces than just a simple like merger of the two things two materials coming together, or shapes, I should say. Is that just a Hallelujah song? That's weird. So for those of you who don't know, Castlevania, the animated series, is on Netflix now. And I haven't made my way through the whole thing yet, but I only just discovered that it was there this last weekend. So, so far so good. It's really cool. Yeah, 5 episodes. What a tease, right? Oh, yeah. Okay. Is it like, I'm only like halfway through the first episode, so I'm only assuming that it's awesome, but it seems awesome so far. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I will enjoy it. Well, I definitely wasn't asking for spoilers. I was just asking that confirm that I was right and recommend that it be checked out. But I only mention it because the only reason why I knew it existed is some random person on my Facebook wall was like, "Can we talk about how awesome Castlevania is?" And I was like, "Castlevania? What?" So, like, how did I not know this was on my Netflix? It's ridiculous. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I pretty much spend my day, like, when I'm working at home, like, listening to really loud, uh, like, alternative and, like, hip hop and, like, all kinds of music. Like, really loud. I got 2 studio monitors right here on my desk. And, so this is, like, a good change of pace until I go back to listening to more upbeat stuff. So we got about 15 minutes left, folks. So we're getting close to the end of my stream. I don't know. I don't know who streams on Mondays. Let's see. Is anyone else up after me? Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Okay, so John Troy Nickel was on this morning. I see. Yeah. All right, so no one's kicking me off, but I got to go do work stuff. But if you guys have any questions, don't be shy. I'll definitely do my best to make fun of and then answer the question. I don't know what this person is thinking about. That's okay. Oh, any work that I do from home. I don't I don't work at any studios in-house anymore, so I just got my home studio here, still like setting it up, not quite there yet. This week I'll be finally unpacking my books, which will be awesome, because I don't have any of my toys, any of my books unpacked. So office is kind of drab right now, but that'll all change shortly. But I used to move around all the time, for sure. Job to job, studio to studio. Luckily, most of the studios were in LA, so that I didn't have to really move too far. You just either end up driving further or not as far, depending on where you got to live. So, like when I was at DreamWorks, I was living in Pasadena. So that was really nice. And DreamWorks is like one city over in the valley in Burbank. So it was like a 15-minute drive to work every day. So as far as commuting in the LA area goes, that's pretty awesome. Definitely have had worse ones. Well, anyone that I know that has moved, like, and brought their PC with them, well, usually the studios have PCs for you, so this is just like your home PC usually. So you would just move it like with the rest of your shit, I think. That's what most of my friends always did. That's what I always did. When I went to Washington to work at Microsoft, it was like I was living in LA at the time, and I was moving up there for like 3 months, and I just packed all my shit in my car, including my PC, and then like drove up to Washington. It's like an 18-hour drive. That was crazy. And then, yeah, set it up and was ready to roll. But that was just my personal one. They like still give me a rig to work with at work, so. I think if you need to be super mobile with your job, you do probably get one of those super laptops or something. Yeah. No. Safest way to bring your PC is just drive it to the new place you're moving to. That's what I would say. Actually, when I moved to New Zealand, I think I just like disassembled or sold my PC, or I don't even really remember what I did with it. And I just built a new one when I got there. So, you know, depending on how far you're going, it might be just easier to rebuild. I quite like building PCs anyway, so always a good excuse to upgrade, I guess. New job, new PC. Oh, all right. Got to figure out what the underside of her looks like. I guess I just do like some kind of fake hand sculpty stuff. Be careful about the brush projecting through the top. All right. Well, I think we made good progress. At least all the wood on our face looks like wood now. So that's a start. So we'll see. Gonna shut down today for the stream. If I can get this cut to go. There you go. Awesome, man. Thanks for coming. Yeah, definitely. We'll be back streaming. So All right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. I think my hand is about to fall off from all this flattening that I've been doing. But as usual, thanks for coming to the stream today, joining me for my. So normally I do my stream on Fridays, and I'll be back this Friday at 12 Pacific Standard to continue and hopefully finish this girl. We'll see. We'll try. And yeah, and so we can get her printed. And those of you guys who are new to ZBrush, if you guys are interested in doing, any fun art like what I'm doing, or anything you feel inspired to do, there's a really cool there's a free trial for ZBrush. That's like 45 days of free ZBrush, which is an awesome length for a trial, I think. And then there's the and then we got a lot of awesome sculptors coming up this week. So be sure to check out everyone else's stream. And everyone have a good one, and happy ZBrushing. And we'll see you guys Friday. So thank you guys. We'll see you.